Hola clase, ¿cómo están? Yo estoy súper bien. Do you know what time it is? It's time for a video about, wait for it, about time. Telling time. There are quite a few specialized words that can be used for telling time in Spanish, but we're going to keep it really simple. With these basics, you'll be able to name all the minutes in your day and night. Here's what you'll learn in this video. You'll learn to ask what time it is in Spanish. You'll learn to express what time it is, and you'll learn to relate at what time things happen. Now, here are some things that you'll need before you get started. This is what I assume you already know. So you need the verb ser and the numbers 1 through 59. So if you need to, take time to review that before you go on. First, here's how to ask what time it is in Spanish. ¿Qué hora es? And to answer, you need es la and you need son las. So for example, es la una, son las dos, son las tres, son las cuatro, son las cinco, son las seis, son las siete, son las ocho, son las nueve, son las 10, son las 11, son las 12. Of course, when we talk, we don't speak in numerals, so I've written the words here for you as a reminder of how they're spelled. Okay, what if we want to add minutes? If it's, for example, 2:40 or 10:15 or 5:30, you need a little word e, which means and. And you need the number of minutes you're adding, 40 or 15 or 30. And I know that I promised to keep things simple, but I couldn't resist one specialized word, media, half, for half past the hour. So you could say, for 1:05 es la una y cinco. If you wanted to say 4:40, son las cuatro y 40. If you wanted to say 6:30, you could say son las 6:30, or you can use the fancy half word, son las 6:30. If we want to add the time of day, morning, afternoon, or evening, we can do that in Spanish with these words, like this. Son las 2 de la tarde. Son las 10:05 de la noche. Here is a quick heads up. Remember that de from son las 2 de la tarde that we just looked at, or son las 10:05 de la noche? If you want to be less specific and not include the exact time of day, of course you can do that in Spanish. But instead of de, you have a choice of en or por. En la mañana, en la tarde, en la noche. Por la mañana, por la tarde, por la noche. So I could say, yo como chocolate por la mañana, por la tarde y por la noche. Me flipa el chocolate. Okay, are you ready for some time telling practice? Vamos allá. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 3 de la noche. Or maybe you would say las 3 de la mañana. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 10:15 de la noche. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 9. What time of day? De la mañana. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 7:08 de la mañana, posiblemente de la tarde. It might be evening, which in Spanish-speaking countries, a lot of them will say stretch tarde much later into what we would call evening in the US. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 2:20 de la noche o posiblemente de la mañana. ¿Qué hora es? Es la 1 de la noche o posiblemente de la mañana. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 3:50 de la tarde. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 12 de la noche. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 11:25 de la mañana. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 10:45 de la noche. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 12 de la tarde. Okay, we have learned how to ask what time it is. We have learned how to express what time it is, but I promise to teach you how to relate at what time things happen. ¿Listos? Here we go. You remember that we used es and son to tell what time it is, but we don't need them to say at what time we have to go to class or go to sleep or buy lunch. Instead, we need the word a, which means at. Everything else is the same. How about a little practice? ¿A qué hora hacemos un picnic? Hacemos un picnic a la 1:30 de la tarde. O a la 1:30 de la tarde if you're using that fancy half thing. ¿A qué hora es el concierto? El concierto es a las 8:45 de la noche. ¿A qué hora tenemos clase? Tenemos clase a las 8 de la mañana. Mi fiesta es, ¿a qué hora es mi fiesta? Mi fiesta es a las 10 de la noche. ¿A qué hora es mi siesta? Mi siesta es a las 2:10 de la tarde. Are you ready for a siesta too? Well, you've earned it. Let's recap what we've learned. We've learned that we use the verb ser to tell what time it is. We use es la for 1 o'clock and son las for the hours between 2 and 12. We've learned that we use y to add minutes to the hour, and we use a to say at what time things happen. We use de, la mañana, tarde, and noche to express what part of the day we're in when we're giving an exact time. Ok, es todo por hoy, clase. Adiós, hasta la próxima.